name is David Gallegos. I live in Battlement, Colorado. This is my home. I had odd jobs in high school, cutting grass. Worked in the mine for a while, and then I joined the Air Force, and I made it a career, spent 20 years, decided I liked it, got to travel. Well, I like to tell people that the scariest thing would be working at Area 51. I got stationed there for a few months, but the reality of it is, as much as they told us not to speak about what we were doing there, it was kind of boring, and I didn't see any aliens. But when I did get home, the first thing my wife said was, "What did you see? Tell us about it." And I thought, I'm not even supposed to be talking about this, and I'm supposed to report you, so stop asking me. After I got out of the Air Force, well, I taught for 1 year, which I really enjoyed, but realistically, I just couldn't make a living with what I was getting paid. I was working in Leadville, which is, at the time, the poorest school district in the county. I literally could have made more money washing dishes at a restaurant, but I loved being a first grade teacher. So when that didn't pan out, I got into water treatment, and I worked in Carbondale for quite a few years. And at that time, I said I would never work in wastewater for obvious reasons. It stinks. But a position came up in Rifle, which is where I was living, and I got tired of commuting, so I took it, and they built us a new plant, state of the art. It's one of only 7 in the country, and it's been really rewarding and enjoying to work there. And I get to interact with all my employees, which I've always been a people person, so I love that part of it as well. But some days it can be very dramatic because I have women and guys mixed. Never a good mix at work. My boss calls and says, "What do you think about being in Dirty Jobs?" And I'm a little bit confused. I was like, "Dirty Jobs? Are you talking about Mike Rowe, the TV?" He goes, "Yep, he's coming. You're our guy." And I was like, "Okay." And the other thing I'd like to say about that is, like my 15-minute of fame, I've never had so much attention from middle-aged women at Walmart and Rifle since they saw me on that. All these just women would come up, "We saw you in Dirty Jobs," and most of them wanted to be asking me about Mike Rowe. I guess he's a hunk among middle-aged women, but those days have died down. I guess there was some industrial accidents that killed people in the site. And then prior to that, legend has it, I've never actually proven this, it was an Indian burial site. So during the day, when the lights are on and the sun's out and there's commotion, people are talking and stuff, you really don't suspect nothing. I've never actually heard nothing, but the men, I usually stay late because I'm a supervisor working on state reports or whatever, and it's almost like the instant that people leave and the building gets quiet, you just start hearing these sounds. And people have said, "Well, it's probably the building settling, it's this, it's that," until I take him there. My grandson is somewhat of a chicken like me. He went in there one day, he was like, "Papa, we gotta get out of here." It literally sounds like somebody is running on top of the roof. And if you like say, "Hey," or like make a commotion, it sounds like they're stopping and then all of a sudden like they're tiptoeing. It literally sounds like that. And other people say it sounds different. Different people say, "No, it sounds like somebody's dropping crates or bottles and breaking bottles and stuff." But yeah, it's a real thing. Big family, 6 boys and 1 girl. My brothers, when you grow up with a bunch of boys, it's kind of a drag, especially if you're not the oldest, because, well, they pick on you for one thing. But then the good thing about growing up with a bunch of boys is you learn stuff that your parents don't teach you. Because I literally learned about simplest stuff like good music, like the Beatles and all the like classic rock bands that you younger people hear about now. They were happening when we were kids growing up, and my 2 older brothers always had albums and cassettes, in fact, or 8 tracks. In fact, I would take them without asking, and I'd lose them sometimes. And I don't know what happened to it. And then my oldest brother, I learned really about sex. We used to have these big boxes of comics, and like on Friday and Saturday night, because there wasn't much on TV, there was like 1 movie and there was 3 channels. And once that Friday night movie was over, it was like, let's go to a room and read comics, and we'd have friends over. And one night, me and my friends are like just digging the comics, and he goes, "Whoa, check this out!" One of my friends felt like a Playboy, which when you're like 10, 12-year-old kid and you never even heard of a Playboy, like, "Oh my God, check this out!" I couldn't wait to run and tell my younger brothers. Donald almost fainted when he saw Miss October. It was a little bit. Miss October was a little too much for Donald. I like fly fishing a lot, and I picked that up from my dad. He was an avid fly fisherman back when it wasn't popular. Now in Colorado, it's just like anything else. Once it becomes a fad, everybody wants to do it, even if they don't enjoy it, just to say they do it. But I love fly fishing because, and it's not even really about catching fish. People might understand it or might not, but you're just kind of alone in your thoughts. And it's just a real tranquil feeling. I love it.